Welcome back. All right, so a quick little news of the day video for all you fine people for your Friday afternoon on June the 23rd. And when this gets posted to the channel, I'm actually not going to be home, and I'll talk about that in a moment here. So, the NHL revealing all the preseason schedules today. There'll be a game here in Abbotsford between the Canucks and the Seattle Kraken, as a for instance. But also, the Ottawa Senators and the Pittsburgh Penguins will be playing a game in Halifax on October the 2nd. So Sidney Crosby will be playing in his home province. I think that's kind of fun. We'll see how that goes. Now, of course, since it's a preseason game, was Crosby necessarily going to play the game? You never know. You never know. Some teams play their rosters and some just let their regulars sit and play the kids. But I will say that because it's in Halifax, Sidney Crosby will be in the lineup. I'd be very surprised if they were like, yeah, we're just going to put out your standard preseason roster. Crosby's up in the press box somewhere. Yeah, I can't see that. So that's good. Halifax, buy your tickets. Go out there, support it. Should be fun. Eric Haula has re-signed for 3 years with the New Jersey Devils. The contract has an average value of $3.15 million per season. He's coming off a year where he played 80 games, 14 goals, 27 assists, 41 points. And Haula was very clear when the season was done as well that he wasn't interested in playing anywhere other than New Jersey. Clearly, this is a place where he feels comfortable, and I'm glad for him. I think he's a good player. I'm glad he's finally found a spot where he's going to stay for a while, and that's a decent cap hit, especially considering next year's jump in the cap that should be taking place. So yeah, all the best to him. Kyle Dubas at a presser today saying that scoring depth is what he's looking for. That basically the core guys played very well and produced very well this past year. The problem was scoring depth, which most Penguin fans go, yep. And so Dubas saying the right things, saying he wants to make the third and fourth lines more dangerous. Absolutely agreed on that. And so we'll see what Dubas does in the coming weeks. We've got the draft on Wednesday. We've got free agency next weekend. And then there's still a lot of time during the summer to make moves. So is he going to spend right to the cap on July 1st? Does he save them some cap space and try to add during the summer? We'll see. The Columbus Blue Jackets re-signing Carson Meyer. He played, I believe, 14 games for Columbus this year. Just had the single point. It's a one-year extension worth $775,000 at the NHL level. So league minimum $190,000 in the AHL. So it's a two-way deal. And it's a $210,000 guarantee. So if he spends the entire year in the AHL, they give him a $20,000 bump. Odds are he's probably going to play some time in the NHL, so he'll likely make more than that $190,000 anyways. Good, he's one of those players that's a good AHLer. He can jump into your lineup at the NHL level here and there, and he doesn't really hurt you. Upside is limited, but at any rate, Columbus, good job there keeping Meyer around for another year. I'm also going to say this here because this could very well happen. So last year, the Kotkaniemi thing broke while I was having a meetup in Coquitlam. That's why this is going to post when I'm not home. So the Meyer extension could happen. Kevin Weeks posting 8 years, $8.5 million on his account. So, of course, that's just percolating all over the internet. If Meyer gets signed to an 8-year deal for $8.5 million, that's absolutely fair. That's the kind of thing then that DeBrincat could kind of look at and say, okay, if Meyer's worth that, then I think I'm worth about that. And it might set the asking price for the restricted free agents and sort of that base, right? So we'll see if that's what the Meyer extension looks like, and it could happen while I'm not home. It would not be the first time that's happened. It used to be a meme on the channel that anytime I left the house, something would happen. And I wanted to throw this in here too, because I know there's Mark Savard gets hired as an assistant coach with Calgary. A lot of the assistant GM, assistant coach, and all of the ads to the lineups, the management lineups of your teams, I don't really report on it because there's just so many. And so at times where I was trying to report on this or that, there was, he hates this team because he's not reporting on this. He hates that team. So I thought, all right, assistant GM, assistant coach, and all that, as fun as it is to talk about here and there, I don't throw that into the news videos. So that's why certain news items don't end up being reported on, because it's an assistant coach and assistant GM. And how many times during the season have we watched games and gone, oh, he's an assistant coach with that organization. So I like to do videos where I talk about it. on the whole as we're getting towards the season, just on, hey, did you realize this former player is employed by this team, that kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, so I don't report on all the hirings and everything going on before that. But at any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video, and it's possible nothing happens while I'm out of the house today. That's possible too, but it does feel like we're so close to the draft and free agency. A lot of reporters are, sticking close to their phones, I would think, right now. Not taking the holiday until after July the 1st. Generally, the holidays are after free agency starts. For me, my holidays are in August. July ends up being kind of busy, and that's when I get into all the off-season playlists as well as once free agency's done. So at any rate, thank you guys so much for all your support. As always, hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so by now, and take care.